Thank you for joining us on This Is Exclusive at 6 p.m. We're trying getting you some breaking news updates on the biggest headline across India. The political fight over the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. As we gather some more exclusive details on the show this evening, here are the headlines at 6 p.m. Death toll in Moscow terror attack has risen to 115, over 150 injured. Islamic State has claimed responsibility. Global concerns over the Moscow attack. Had US warned Russia about the attack?
बनाया गया है ये जो प्रावधान है आईटी एक्ट के उसे मानना ही पड़ेगा हम सब बाध्य है बंधे हुए हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से Why do you or Mrs. Sonia Gandhi feel that you are above the Constitution of India?
As Congress cash dealings come under scanner, the BJP hits out, says Congress has failed to comply with income tax rules.
मैं तब भी कहता था इसी मन से मैंने कहा था कि अभी तो मोनीश सिसोदिया गए और मैंने कहा था किंग पिन का नंबर भी आएगा और कल किंग पिन का नंबर आया.
War of words politically as Kejriwal stays in ED custody. Aam Aadmi Party claims political vendetta. BJP questions the links that are emerging in the cash trail. Ahead of the big election, Karnataka government moves top court against centre over the delay in the drought relief funds. Big development in the cash for query investigation. CBI conducts searches at Mahua Moitra's residence. And the breaking news this evening, ladies and gentlemen, Arvind Kejriwal is in Enforcement Directorate custody. Will continue to be in custody till the 28th of March. And he's now moved the Delhi High Court against the arrest. We're getting into some more details of his exclusive legal strategy. Legal strategy details with Republic TV. He sought an urgent hearing on his bail plea tomorrow. He's called the Enforcement Directorate custody illegal. Kejriwal has moved the Delhi High Court against arrest. He wants a Sunday hearing. A Sunday hearing. He's also gone on to challenge the 6-day Enforcement Directorate remand, calling the arrest illegal. That's the breaking news update that we have this hour. On top of this is exclusive. More details, exclusive details of the legal strategy of Arvind Kejriwal. Riyanka is joining me live on the show. Riyanka, will his petition be heard? Will his petition be heard on a Sunday? Do we have details of what his legal strategy is? Grounds to appeal.
Absolutely. Very interesting developments are now taking place in the Liquorgate probe. The exclusive detail that we have here on Republic is that Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister, who has now been arrested, is on a 6-day ED custody. He has sought for a bail. He has in fact gone ahead and filed a bail plea with the Delhi High Court through an email is what we're getting to know. What is very interesting to note here that he has sought an urgent hearing into the matter for Sunday. Very interesting here, very significant whether the court will convene on Sunday, whether the Delhi High Court will in fact take up this matter on a Sunday, because it's quite significant, because he is in fact in a chief ministerial position and several details are also going to flow in. We will track all the updates. But Kejriwal here calling the entire matter illegal. Time and again he has said that the arrest, that the summons, all of these are illegal, that the ED is carrying out all these actions under the behest of the centre, the BJP. He has said at this point in his plea that the summons, the remand and the arrest, all of this are illegal. In fact, he has gone ahead and sought an urgent hearing. Well, if we speak about the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, they had gone ahead and protested against the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. So these are several details that are falling in line. Now, in fact, BRS leader K. Kavita, who has also been given a 3-day extension of the ED custody, had also sought a bail application today at the Rouse Avenue Court, and to which the ED said that we are currently neck deep into the investigation. So we have to wait and watch whether the ED goes ahead and puts up the same matter that they are neck deep into the investigation, and at this point in time, bail application is not maintainable. So we will bring in all the details here on Republic, but exclusively telling our viewers that Arvind Kejriwal has gone ahead and filed for a bail plea with the Delhi High Court via email. He has sought an urgent hearing for tomorrow, Sunday, 24th of March.
All right, just be with me. In fact, I'm getting in another breaking news update. Vladimir Putin is speaking of the attack in Moscow. I'll cut across to that in just a second. The moment I have that feed, I'll cut across live. I'm getting a breaking news update. It's the first time that he's addressing his country after the attack. In fact, I'll go across to the breaking full frame. Let's stay full frame on that breaking for now. Vladimir Putin, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just breaking in the details right now. Vladimir Putin is speaking, and we're getting in live updates of what Vladimir Putin is telling his country. I'm going through his speech as we route that speech and cut across live. He's addressing Russia after the terrorist attack at the Crocus City Hall in Moscow. Vladimir Putin calling what happened in Moscow a bloody and barbaric terrorist attack. Putin telling his countrymen that dozens of peaceful, innocent people became victims of the terrorist attack in Moscow, saying that he's sure the doctors will do everything possible to save the lives of the victims of the terrorist attack in the city hall. The count of those whose lives were lost in the attack could rise. Putin is speaking live. I'm cutting across in just a few seconds. In fact, we're getting in more breaking news updates of what Putin is telling the people of his country. Vladimir Putin saying that doctors are trying to do everything possible and impossible to save the lives of victims of the terrorist attack in Moscow. And Putin talking to Russia, addressing Russia as we pick up more details of those who targeted Moscow. In fact, some CIA veterans and more breaking news details are coming in now that a former CIA intelligence officer and a US Department of State official has also said that they find it noteworthy that the Biden administration rushed to try to distance Ukraine from the terrorist attack in Moscow, even as Moscow says that some of those who were arrested had links to Ukraine. Those are some details. Let's also tell you that as of this minute, the Federal Security Service Director, or the FSB in Russia, has said that the arrest of 11 people in connection with the terrorist attack has been detailed. In fact, including all 4 terrorists who are directly involved, they've been arrested. The suspects were detained in the region of Bryansk, which borders Ukraine, and the number of those killed has risen to 143, including 3 children, with 107 more sent to hospital. Let's show you the pictures of the attack. What happened in Moscow last night. Let's put out the pictures of what happened in Moscow as we bring you the latest details, even as Vladimir Putin is speaking to his country, addressing his country on what really happened. We had some of the pictures from Moscow, some latest pictures of people paying their tributes. Let's play those pictures. Let's also tell you that the death toll has gone up to 143, including 3 children. 3 children who have been killed. And the death toll from the attack is expected to increase. The Russian Investigative Committee has said that it could increase given the grievous nature of injuries to many others who are being treated in different hospitals across Moscow, adding that the cause of deaths are gunshot wounds and poisoning by combustion products. The FSB has said that suspects plan to cross the Russian-Ukraine border and that the terrorists wanted to cross the Russian-Ukraine border. Okay, Vladimir Putin addressing Russia. Let's cut across live.
Врачи.
Уверен, они сделают все возможное и даже невозможное для сохранения жизни и здоровья всех раненых. Особые слова благодарности экипажам скорой помощи и санитарной авиации, бойцам спецподразделений, пожарным, спасателям, которые делали все, чтобы сохранить жизни людей, вывести их из-под огня, из эпицентра возгорания и задымления, избежать еще больших потерь. Не могу оставить без внимания помощь простых граждан, которые в первые минуты после трагедии не остались равнодушными и безучастными, и наряду с врачами и сотрудниками спецслужб оказывали первую помощь, доставляли пострадавших в больницы. Необходимую помощь окажем всем семьям, в чью жизнь пришла страшная беда, раненым и пострадавшим. Выражаю глубокие, искренние соболезнования всем, кто потерял своих родных и близких. Вместе с вами скорбит вся страна, весь наш народ. 24 марта объявляю днем общенационального траура. В Москве и Подмосковье во всех регионах страны введены дополнительные меры антитеррористического и противодиверсионного характера. Главное сейчас не дать тем, кто стоит за этой кровавой бойней, совершить новые преступления. Что касается расследования этого преступления и результатов оперативно-розыскных действий, то в настоящее время можно сказать следующее. Все 4 непосредственных исполнителей теракта, все те, кто стрелял, убивал людей, найдены и задержаны. Они пытались скрыться и двигались в сторону Украины, где, по предварительным данным, для них с украинской стороны было подготовлено окно для перехода государственной границы. Всего задержано 11 человек. Федеральная служба безопасности России, другие правоохранительные органы работают над выявлением, вскрытием всей пособнической базы террористов, тех, кто обеспечил их транспортом, намечал пути отхода от места преступления, готовил схроны, тайники с оружием и боеприпасами. Повторю, следственные и правоохранительные органы сделают все, чтобы установить все детали преступления. Но уже очевидно, что мы столкнулись не просто с тщательно, цинично спланированным терактом, а с подготовленным и организованным массовым убийством мирных, беззащитных людей. Преступники хладнокровно и целенаправленно шли именно убивать, расстреливать в упор наших граждан, наших детей. Как когда-то нацисты, творившие расправы на оккупированных территориях, они задумали устроить показательную казнь, кровавую акцию устрашения. Все исполнители, организаторы и заказчики этого преступления понесут справедливое и неизбежное наказание, кем бы они ни были, кто бы их ни направлял. Повторю, мы установим и покараем каждого, кто стоит за спиной террористов, кто готовил это злодеяние, этот удар по России, по нашему народу. Мы знаем, что такое угроза терроризма. Рассчитываем здесь на взаимодействие со всеми государствами, которые искренне разделяют нашу боль. И готовы на деле реально объединять усилия в борьбе с общим врагом, международным терроризмом, со всеми его проявлениями. Террористов, убийц, нелюдей, у которых нет и не может быть национальности, ждет одна незавидная участь – возмездие и забвение. Будущего у них нет. Наш общий долг сейчас, наших боевых товарищей на фронте, всех граждан страны, быть вместе в одном строю. Верю, так и будет, потому что никто и ничто не может поколебать нашу сплоченность и волю, нашу решимость и мужество, силу единого народа России. Никому не удастся посеять ядовитые семена розни, панику и разлад в наше многонациональное общество. Россия не раз проходила через тяжелейшие, порой невыносимые испытания, но становилась еще сильнее. Так будет и сейчас.
All right, that's the speech of Vladimir Putin, coming in bits and pieces. Vladimir Putin addressing the Russian people. Let's show you also on the screen, in a split screen, we'll show you the visuals of what happened last night. In a split screen, let's show you the pictures of what happened last night. Over 150 people have been killed. Over 150 people have been killed. And Putin has said that he will punish and his country will punish those behind the Moscow attack. He also claims that gunmen tried to flee to Ukraine. And that is a very, very important statement. Putin says that the terrorists of the Moscow attack, the Moscow concert hall attack, tried to flee into Ukraine. And that is a very, very big, significant statement coming in from Vladimir Putin. And he says that his country will go after. He says his country will go after those who are behind the Russia attack, the Moscow attack. And in fact, we're getting in more details right now. As Vladimir Putin speaks, we're also getting in some pictures. I'll play those pictures out in just a few minutes. As some media houses in Russia also publish footage of the interrogation of the Moscow terror attack suspects. As one suspect admits to shooting people at the hall, he claims he was offered anywhere around $5,000 to shoot anyone, and that the terrorist act was organized on Telegram with an unknown person who provided weapons, and that the attack was prepped a month ago. These are details that we're picking up right now from different reports. And the feed of Vladimir Putin that just came in, Vladimir Putin saying that investigative and law enforcement agencies are doing everything to probe the details of the attack, and that it's obvious that Russia is faced with a planned mass murder of civilians. Criminals went to kill in cold blood and shoot Russians at point-blank range like the Nazis once did. Vladimir Putin telling his country that all the attackers, the terrorists, organizers and financiers of the terrorist attack in the city hall of Moscow will be justly punished, and that they would identify, punish everyone who's behind the attack. And he's also said that they know that what the threat of terror is, and that they want to work with all states that share the pain of Russia. He has concluded by saying the terrorists will face retribution and oblivion. That's the gist of what Vladimir Putin has just told his country. Let's in fact get some experts on the phone line right now to look at the statement of Vladimir Putin when he mentions Ukraine, when he says that the terrorists tried to cross over to Ukraine, whether Russia has more details of the attackers. In fact, ISIS had claimed responsibility. That's what some media reports suggested. But going by the details that we have, it appears that it's not a simple case of the Islamic State alone. Are they more attackers? Are they more conspirators? One of the terrorists who was detained on the suspicion of the attack had said that he had been offered 500,000 rubles to kill people, and that person also confessed that the curators had given him the task of killing everyone in the hall, and that they had entered the hall to kill. Also admitting that, in fact, one of the attackers claimed he flew in from Turkey on the 4th of March, according to the video that has been published by Russia Today and other Russian media agencies. We'll move on now and get you more detailed analysis in a short while from now. That's the breaking news update for the first time since the attack in Moscow. That's the statement of Vladimir Putin. We're getting in another statement of Putin with a translation in English. Let's cut across to that.
In Ukraine, our military services, our emergency services, our investigators are working on finding out the orchestrators of this terrorist attack, those who gave them transportation, who who gave them weapons, etc. The investigative authorities will do everything to identify all details of this crime, but it's already evident that we face not just a cynically organized terrorist attack, but a massive mass killing of civilians. these perpetrators, these criminals, went specifically to kill people point blank, our people, our children, just like the Nazis that once killed our people during the war. They do the same. All the orchestrators, all those who are responsible for this crime will inevitably be found responsible. They will pay. We will identify everyone who stands behind these terrorists, and they will pay. This is a strike against Russia. We know what terrorist threat means, and we expect that other nations that share our pain will cooperate with us, and we will stand united against this common enemy, international terrorism, no matter where it shows its ugly head. These terrorists have no nationality, and there's only one future for them: retribution and oblivion. Our duty right now, our common duty right now, is to stand together, to stand united, and I believe we will stand together. Nobody can divide us, can undermine our common strength, the strength of Russia's nation, or sow discord in our multinational society. Russia has faced a lot of challenges in its history, terrible challenges, but it always came out stronger, and this will be the same this time.
All right, the address of Vladimir Putin. Let me go across to Abhishek Kapoor. Abhishek, trying to hint at a possible role of Ukraine. Of course, they're not saying Ukraine is directly involved, but saying that the terrorists found a safe haven in Ukraine, saying that the terrorists were fleeing into Ukraine. What do you make of the response of the Russian establishment and Putin?
Well, Niranjan, so I was listening to this carefully. The only giveaway insofar as what's going on in President Putin's mind vis-a-vis Ukraine was the mention of the equivalence that he drew between these terrorists and the Nazis, and the fact that he compared this terrorist attack to how the Nazis targeted Russia and the Russians. Apart from that, I think he has sort of stopped one step short of naming Ukraine. And remember, we had Russian law enforcement agencies last evening alluding to the possibility of some sort of Ukraine element in this terrorist attack, which has been vehemently denied, of course, by Ukraine, by United States and much of the West. And there has been sort of unequivocal solidarity and with Russia and condemning of the terrorist attack. So let's just wait to see whether the things are moving in that direction, or is it just the kind of mistrust that exists between Russia and the West because of the war.
Abhishek, bear with me. Abhishek, just bear with me, brother. 1 second, Abhishek, just 1 second. I have Madhav Nalapat also, because there's very limited time on the show. I want to go across to Madhav Nalapat, joining us on the phone line. He's a strategic affairs expert. Madhav Nalapat, Putin breaking his silence. Of course, it's the first time that he's addressed his country after the attack. He says that there was a natural hideout for these terrorists in Ukraine, and that they were headed to Ukraine, they were fleeing into Ukraine. Where do you think this is going?
Well, I'd like to point out that those who are saying that Putin was himself responsible for this attack, frankly, they probably know that they're talking nonsense, for a simple reason that this is an attack that directly affects the image of President Putin as an individual who can keep Russia and Russians safe. Now, happening so soon after his landslide victory in the polls, very obvious that whoever has done this, whichever groups have done this, are basically very hostile to Putin, and they wanted to make a point that Putin cannot keep Russia and Russians safe. Having said that, I'd like to say that, we are talking, there's some kind of online message purporting to be from ISIS. Now, look, ISIS has become a label that is covering up the activities of a whole lot of players. ISIS itself, fortunately, has almost been totally wrecked. So I wouldn't really, look in terms of ISIS, although it is a fact that there are radicals in Russia, and certainly radicals in Russia who would love to do something like this. Whether it's them or whether it's some other forces, I don't know. Let's not forget the Nord Stream 2 attack. That also was blamed on Putin. Now, President Putin is not going to destroy his own pipeline, a pipeline to prosperity for both Germany and Russia, which the Germans, frankly, were, they agreed to its being stopped, and then later it was destroyed. Now, this is similarly, it's an attack on Putin. The Nord Stream pipeline is an attack on the economy of Russia. This is a personal attack on the reputation of Vladimir Putin. So whoever has done it, certainly that individual or group of individuals has absolute hatred for Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Professor Madhav Nalapa, thank you for joining us on the show. We'll take a short break now. This is a breaking news update that we had here on Republic TV. The President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, breaking his silence on the terror attack in Moscow, where over 150 people were shot dead, including children, at a concert hall. Taking a short break on This Is Exclusive. When we come back, there's an income tax controversy. Cash dealings of the Congress party is under scanner, and the political fight over that continues. We're back with the details of what agencies have found in the case of Congress and cash. The cash for query scandal involving Trinamool Congress suspended MP, now suspended. Mahua Moitra, the very controversial Mahua Moitra, she's been searched, her residence has been searched. We're getting in details of that story as well on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.